All right. I'm late on this topic. People have given me a lot of grief about my thoughts and feelings on this topic. This topic is trade in LE, more specifically, factions. Merchants Guild, Circle of Fortune. So, about 8 days ago, we've got the information that to combat, I guess, the divide, people wanting trade, people not wanting trade, and just wanting to play the game, they came up with this system where both can be had. Essentially, like two factions that can play with each other can't trade amongst each other, essentially, because Circle of Fortune has no trade. It has gifting. Okay. What we have in the Merchants Guild is trade, profit, grow. Buy or sell any type of equipment. Yes. Yes, please. Trade directly or asynchronously using the bazaar. What was that? The bazaar. The bazaar is back. More on that later. Now, in Circle of Fortune, stars guide our fate. Oh, that's so comforting. Stars guide our fate, everyone. Stars guide our fate. Not any actions we take. Anyway, improves quantity and quality of item drops. Use prophecies to hunt specific item types. Now, we know that Path of Exile used a similar type of the prophecy, and not entirely the same. I'm sure that was just borrowed. Now, what this sounds like, right from reading this, is that Merchants Guild is going to be real fun. Circle of Fortune is going to be the same game, but they're going to give you more drops to make up for you not trading. Either type of play is fine, whoever wants to play it. Now, it reads, along your travels in Last Epoch, you will encounter factions of Eterra's denizens and may choose to align yourself with them. Now, it does say may. The question came up whether or not you had to, because as of right now, this is at the end of the campaign or towards the end of the campaign. This is all subject to change, of course. Aligning with a faction will allow you to gain both reputation to improve your rank within the faction and favor to spend on that faction's services and rewards. Climbing ranks within a faction will unlock the unique perks, services, and rewards. Now, the Merchants Guild and the Circle of Fortune are the first two factions that we'll introduce in Last Epoch, and your choice of allegiance will determine the way your character obtains and exchanges items in the endgame. Each character can only represent and gain reputation with one of these factions at a time, enabling their exclusive benefits. Now, you can switch in between them. That's really cool. Like I said, you can play the game with other members of the other faction. So you can still play with your friends if they want to play KOF. If they're playing MG, like I most certainly will be playing MG. I have friends that will be playing KOF. We'll be able to play together. We will not be able to trade together because, KOF doesn't believe in trade or the free market. Details. You can have different characters in the same cycle in different factions. Plus, faction reputation is shared account-wide. Plus, faction reputation resets each cycle. Well, I mean, that's what the cycle's for, I suppose. When a cycle ends and characters are transferred to the permanent non-cycle environment, the faction progress will be carried over. If you are going to play your standard content, that would be like the standard content in PoE, where you just go back to not being in the current thing. I don't typically, those characters just disappear from me, really. Let's break down the factions a bit more. Reputation rank rewards, up to rank 6. It is somewhat confirmed that these go up to 10. Now, this is a work in progress. It is subject to change, and that is, of course, true for both of these. But right now, reputation rank rewards for Circle of Fortune or KOF. The stars guide our fate. Rank 2, 45% chance for runes of ascendance to be preserved when used on the item that requires at least Circle of Fortune rank 1. That's a pretty good perk. It's a pretty good early perk, I gotta say. Rank 4, affixes are 50% more likely to be exalted. 50% more likely to be exalted. That's a good perk. That's a good perk. Rank 6, uniques are twice as likely to have legendary potential. Twice as likely to have LP. That's awesome. Who wouldn't want to play Circle of Fortune if they're, playing? I mean, these are perks. They're great perks. Now, Circle of Fortune is a mystical faction that had banded together to seek fortune through arcane research and astrology, but not through trade. Aligning with the Circle of Fortune will grant you powerful benefits towards finding more and better items. You will also have the ability to purchase prophecies with favor, which will bend fate to your advantage and help you find the specific items that you're looking for. So without trade, they're hoping you will flourish. Now, the drop rate's going to be better. While twice as likely to have legendary potential at rank 6 on uniques seems like it's really, 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 really good, and it really, really is good. You're twice as likely. It's still such a very low number. It's probably going to be like witnessing a real-life miracle. We're talking seeing 3 UFOs at once land in your front yard and ask you directions. Now, moving on to Merchant's Guild. Again, work in progress, subject to change. Rank number 2, you may trade set items. You're allowed to do this now. We're granting you a permission here. Rank 4, you may trade unique items with no legendary potential, and set items cost 20% less favor to buy or sell. Now, this is a permission with a perk based off of previous permission. Okay. Rank 6, you may trade exalted weapons and unlock 10 additional bizarre item slots. Now, we'll talk about the bizarre later, but to hit on it right now, what the bizarre is going to have is you will have a set amount of slots you can use to put things up for sale on the bizarre, and people can come buy it if they want. There's no guarantee that people will buy your stuff. Obviously, better stuff will sell, and putting the best stuff in the limited slots you have, this is obvious stuff. Now, what we have here is Circle of Fortune and Merchant's Guild. Circle of Fortune gives you straight up perks. Straight up perks.
I ain't taking no handouts.
Whereas the Merchant's Guild gives you permissions with perks pertaining to those permissions. For instance, with rank 4, the 20% less favor to buy or sell is a perk based off of rank 2. Now, the Bazaar revised. Now, they said straight up that they were going to cancel this, and then they kind of said that they just meant it wasn't coming as soon as we thought it was. But now we're going to call it the Bazaar revised. Whatever, it's in the game. Originally, this was going to be like this flea market you could go to that was randomized, and people have a tent up or something. You go to their tent and whatever, and you buy whatever they have for sale. This is kind of going to be like that again. I don't know if it's going to be randomized. We don't really know. We'll find out when we get closer. Now, the Bazaar will be a new trade-focused zone for players aligned with Merchant's Guild. Here you can gather, socialize, barter, and trade your wares throughout the market. Players will search through a variety of stalls for player-listed items, which you can buy and sell for gold. That's right, the currency is gold. With advanced searching functionality, no purchase delay, and no tax on the gold cost of the item. Now, they did do a trade survey, and these were questions that were asked in it. They did pay attention. Now, it says there is no tax, which is wonderful. That was a question that they asked. They pretty much listened to the community on this, and I think for the most part, the people that want to play Cough on Aaron's poll, it was like 75-25 split, like Cough versus MG, and that just means 25% of us are awesome. Now, item gifting with friends. We've heard from the community that sharing items with friends is important to their enjoyment of Last Epoch long term. According to the survey, I almost guarantee. We agree, and so we are continuing to support item gifting between friends and party play regardless of your faction choice. To this end, we're doing 2 things. Item gifting as experienced in the multiplayer tests and in .9 will remain. If you are with a player fighting enemies and item drops, you'll be able to freely gift your teammates that item if you wish. We'll be introducing a new item called resonance, which drops when you play along the player for a very extended period of time. Using resonance on item will enable the item to be gifted. Player, I hate it. Hate it, hate it. I hate it so much. All right. There's the tax on gifting. What it is, it's combat. It's to combat just hopping in, making friends with someone, and just being able to just gift to some guy that you met on a third party site. Whatever. There's other ways to do it. I hope they remove the need for it to be linked to a name, and just kind of maybe on just keep the resonance in the game. Maybe. Ideally, I wouldn't, but maybe keep the resonance in the game untagged with the name. That's just a small critique I have on it. I just think it slows it down a little bit. It's a little bit too overarching. But it's still a good system. I know that they're continuing to work on it and whittle it into what it will become. Now, who are the persons that might be joining the Merchants Guild? Well, I mean, that would be like the Johns, McClane, and Rambo, or maybe even Sarah Connor, or maybe even Ellen Ripley. Okay. Now, who would be the persons joining Circle of Fortune? Lewis Tully comes to mind, or Hubie. Probably Lewis Tully and Hubie be the Circle of Fortune peeps. If you find that Cough is for you, go ahead and play Cough. It looks fantastic as it is right now. These ranks do go up to 10. Like I said, it's semi-confirmed. And it is a rumor that rank 10 of Merchants Guild allows you to pretty much trade everything, with the exception of things that are untradeable. So, looks good. I can't wait to see the work they put in to this work in progress.